Okay, back again, Animoji Gaming. So I tried to do the long 52 minutes video, but I'm not sure whether I can get interrupted or not since it is pretty long. So I'm playing Resident Evil 4 after I just save a very short video footage before. So I think I was playing this on the Nintendo Switch, but since I already tried to stream on to directly into Twitch on the PlayStation 4 version, which is the Resident Evil Triple Pack. So Resident Evil 4 is pretty much one of my favorite games, even though it is pretty scary for some reason to play this, especially when you didn't use any cheat or trainers, because you can easily get killed, or the ammunition is just pretty limited, especially in the beginning where you cannot buy any weapons yet. So it's pretty annoying. So basically I can actually use knife only, but at some point it is pretty tricky. So as you can see, all the buttons were in the Nintendo Switch or Xbox. I don't know what's the difference, because the ABXY is standard gamepad. So I'm currently injured, but I decided not to tape the herb to increase the health yet, because maybe I know that there's still enemies not much yet, but I'm still decided to do so. Because there will be an enemy in here, which is where is the enemy, so because we can actually see the voice first, we don't see the people yet. And to be honest, weapons is not really effective, the handguns, rather than the knife, which is at some point it's more effective, because we just need to do it over and over again. So I actually still have several videos that is longer than 50 minutes, hour. So the remaining was the Saints Row the Third for the Nintendo Switch as well. The remaining PlayStation 4 game, which is the Cyberpunk 2077. So after that, I really need to turn on the hard disk on my own gaming PC, which is the Jonesbo U2. So that's pretty annoying that we can actually kill those three guys in order to prevent throwing the giant rock later. So there's actually a guy there, but for some reason it's just too stupid. So I'm currently trying to record Animoji by charging my phone using power bank, since I didn't have any remaining USB on my MacBook Air. So besides, there's no more power outlet as well. So I decided to use the power bank instead, since most likely if I not try to charge the phone, it will eventually drop under 80%, because to create Animoji at this length, it's really wasting my battery.
Leon.
So I decided to skip this unnecessary hooligan, because basically I already tried to do it on the Twitch. So I need to kind of save more space on the storage. Even though it's still pretty long because I'm actually recorded until the second pack. So it's pretty long. Yeah. You can actually several times save the progress, but it's still pretty long. So I used to several times failed in here, get killed, but I think I can do it just once this time. And I'm just not sure why the sound is pretty weird. Because I think I was not approaching the people yet. The giant fork. Actually, we will have the remake of this game later in 2023, this year's. So it will be much scarier because yes, some people can do the speedrun on this game for less than an hour, I guess. I'm not sure. I think that's pretty fast. It's pretty possible. I think it's around 3 hours or so. So it's just pretty dark when it was recorded using the HDMI video capture. So yeah, that's the reason why it's making the video game even scarier. I was get burned. Can't believe it. And I'm out of ammunition. It is pretty annoying. And my health is also pretty critical. So at some point I need to get out into certain places just running around. For some reason, even though when we try to open up our inventory, it's basically pause the game, which is not really realistic, but yeah, that's the only thing that can make the game actually easier. Unlike the Resident Evil 5, if I'm not mistaken, the inventory system is much more simpler, so that's the reason why when we try to change the inventory, I think it is not pause the game, and I quite forgot about it, because I think the Resident Evil 5 footage is already uploaded, even though it's still not obviously get enough traction, especially when I already tried to record it pretty long, wasting my time. But yeah, well, because basically in each of the video I'm actually trying to talking about random stuff as well, so it's not always about the game itself, because the game is pretty much boring because you can actually see so many people already doing that. So that's the reason why I'm actually trying to do to talk about other things, even though I'm still technically focused on watching the footage. So it's maybe a little bit similar, and for some reason
Es hora de rezar. Tenemos que irnos.
the sound of the cutscene is just already happened before the chainsaw tried to break down to be called as a reinforcement.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
So basically, even though it seems to be called through certain place, but there will be still an enemy later. That's maybe
Hunnigan,
not really
I have some bad
religious to
news.
the core.
I've confirmed the body of an officer. Something's happened to the people here.
Just don't get it why the people can carry the body faster than when we are trying to reach this place. So for some reason I don't want to waste too many times to find any collectibles, even though my gun is currently running out of ammunition. I'm not sure. So basically, we can actually moving around to the places that we are already come before. So that's the reason why it's technically have a little bit open world characteristic in here rather than any other the previous next Resident Evil, which may be a little bit decrease. So the adventure is pretty cool. Because we can actually do first kind of thing. That's the reason why at the same time it can also be done as a speed run. So yeah, I'm trying to find collectibles, which is pretty annoying. So this place is actually used to be the one that tried called the chainsaw reinforcement. That's the reason why we can push the furniture to close down any kind of things. Basically able to prevent the enemies coming to us. So it's already 12 minutes, but I think it's still far away from the second hack. Man, it's too dark in here. I cannot see a thing in the footage, even though the real footage is actually a little bit better. So we can actually pick up the shotgun to fight the chainsaw man. Since handgun is just very ineffective to them. For some reason, it's like the executioner that have giant eggs. If you talk about the Resident Evil 5, my genie. So Stanley Resident Evil never really do an open world, because if Resident Evil 4 is open world, it's just getting better, but maybe it makes it a little bit not scary, because obviously if you talk about open world, there will be other peoples that technically can call for reinforcement, perhaps. So it's pretty weird, because basically what we are doing on Resident Evil 4 is just pretty much investigation, but we eventually do a one-man army instead. So if we collect 3 colors, later, after the several acts, we will come back into these doors again. Even though the enemy will not be available anymore in this place, because maybe the time was actually slowing down. Depends how fast that you can do this game. So there's no sleep or fast forward time, obviously, like the many open world games. And it's still 36 minutes to go, and I already feel very tired and bored because, yeah, there's not many things to do. Because I don't really like the first act, because the world is pretty much big and empty at the same time, and we cannot actually do many things as well, so all of the doors is still unlocked for some reason. So it seems still big, the places, even though, yeah, if there's a vehicle, it's definitely gonna be small, or helicopters. There are actually several mods that you can have in the PC, but yeah, I'm not sure whether you can actually install it or not. Because I used to play this on the iOS, even though right now it's already taken down like many of the good iOS games. That's pretty sad for some reason that I didn't know. So if you talk about the inventory, the weapons that was carried is actually not really realistic, because we cannot see how Leon is carrying the guns. Basically, if you talk about the village, it's also be the next Resident Evil, the newest Resident Evil installment, which is the Resident Evil Village, which I haven't been played, obviously, because, yeah, it has a little bit big size and still pretty expensive as well. So, yeah, I don't think it was good enough as well, because maybe was meant to be played as first person, or maybe I need to play the Resident Evil 7 first, maybe. Because the Resident Evil 6 actually pretty weird, because that's the last Resident Evil third person only. Because basically, for some reason, even though the fear seems to be spread all over, but they're trying to explain another story. Keep trying to do it, because maybe if it is maybe if it is pretty simple, then it will be for some reason the other people seems to be very quiet, unlike the previous places, with maybe because it's more religious. So they're trying to speak their religious words. No, because this actually happened in certain place in Europe. Which is pretty scary because there are several horror stories that takes place in Eastern Europe, because it's maybe like the degrees, so it's not really cold, but it is obviously not tropical island as well. So the sound effect is actually a little bit make the games a little bit scarier, even though for some reason quiet is actually more scary, because quiet can make the jump scare even more effective. Jump scare that obviously makes you die, because this was an action game, not even if like the horror games such as Silent Hill, where you don't actually have a lot of guns in the game, but it still definitely make you lose. When you cannot escape the jump scare. So for some reason, it's very hard to target the weapons, because at some point the laser is not to be seen clearly. We're almost the halfway of the video, which I think it is. We're approaching the second act, if I'm not mistaken. I quite forgot, because yeah, I'm still trying to find any collectibles, even though I'm already do it on the PlayStation 4 version of the game. It's pretty much wasting the storage and time, which definitely will not be done by those speedrun players. So the animals is not infected or not becoming cannibalistic, like the one that basically available on Resident Evil 5. I think it is only happened for dogs. Quite forgot, because I actually never really complete those games yet. Even this game has never been complete as well, because at some point the infinite health cheat just not work yet, because there are several things that will make the game crash if you are still alive, because it's just pretty impossible to be alive at those points. So maybe that's the reason why at some point infinite health is not really effective. So the typewriter is actually already pretty iconic since the original Resident Evil, the first one. Even though if you talk about the Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, the typewriter is actually limited, so you need to find the ribbon in order to use the typewriter, so it just cannot immediately save the game at any time. So that's pretty annoying because you need to be very effective. And the side effect, I just don't know where is it. So the giant ball is actually after this instead, even though we already see the people pretty in the beginning, which is pretty weird. So one thing that I like about this game is also the ability to upgrade the weapons. That's pretty much different than one that actually available before. So in terms of the look, because it actually reminds me of the Godfather games, which can turn Tommy gun or typewriter into the linger, even though it's not really that cool. So this is where the ball that we need to properly push the button, because the button was actually randomized. And then I'm actually wrong press the button because I don't really remember which button that actually available on the Nintendo Switch Pro controllers. So we cannot see the guy yet to prevent him. So I think when we are trying to use infinite health at this time, it just make the game freeze, because the game tried technically pretty confused. Man, I actually need to do this over and over again. Can't believe it. Because it will actually freeze that time, so you cannot actually continue or restart from the last checkpoint. Basically, it's more like a Takeshi Castle. Just really weird because it's pretty random. And when we try to come back into the source, there not seems to be following. Yeah, they're just pretty much in the top of the cliff. So it's obviously cannot come down because so we can only hear the sounds, which is really scary, even though they will definitely cannot reach us. So this is actually the last place that filled with booby traps before finishing the first act. So it's pretty annoying because there are several people that use Molotov that basically kill themselves. sometimes the booby trap is also exploded at the same time. So basically we don't need to use our guns to kill the people and even deactivate the booby traps. There's also trap, which is pretty annoying. We're actually still, we already reached the halfway of the video. It's still 21 minutes remaining. So I basically still need to check for any collectibles because I know this is actually the last time of before the second act, which most likely will not ever to come to this place again, even though it's still technically possible, but it's just too lazy because we need to go around again, far from our real objective. So I'm never really used those granite because yeah, it's not really important. And it doesn't really waste of space either. So there's still a booby trap remaining, which is very unnecessary to go through unless it's actually make it closer to our objective or any collectibles. So I don't get it, what's that sounds? So there's actually a top rider before ending the first act. Just in case if we want to traveling around first, perhaps before ending the act. Try to use the new spot instead because maybe I will try to return. Even though it's pretty much impossible because I already installed this on the PC as well, which I want to use trainers. Those booby trap is not really important, but yeah, I can actually find the green herb. So those sound is actually from the friends that will definitely be a trap for us to move on into the second act. And we will get injected by the virus, even though it's not really matters for some reason, because mostly of the main characters that was injected by the virus not turn into just regular zombies. Turns into a superhuman instead.
A little rough, don't you think? You're not like them?
No. You?
So this is actually approaching the end of the video,
Okay.
but I'm not sure
have only
why
one
there's still
very important
16
question.
minutes.
You got a
remaining.
smoke?
Got gum.
Perfect.
For some reason, we
big
can
cheese.
use the gun instead. And knock down in one kick. So maybe I want to
Feeble humans, let us give you our power. Soon, you will become unable to resist this intoxicating power.
just get it whether it is actually a real life or a dream, because and the jacket is also missing for some
wake
reason.
up.
Crawl out of one hole and into another.
You want to tell me what's going on here?
Americano, see? Now what brings a bloke like you to this part of the world? Oh, hey, easy, whoever you are.
Name's
For
Leon.
reason is
Came here looking for this girl.
like
Seen her?
What, are you supposed to be a cop or something?
assault Americans.
You don't look the type.
Maybe.
Okay, let me guess. She's the president's daughter?
That's too good for a guess. Want to start explaining?
Psychic powers. Nah, just kidding with you, amigo. I overheard one of the villagers talking something about the president's daughter in the church.
This should be a Nekamijini version of the Vicus.
And who might you be?
Me llamo Luis Serra. I used to be a cop in Madrid. But now I'm just a good-for-nothing guy who happens to be quite the ladies' man.
Why'd you quit?
So you come far
Well,
away
you see,
from Spain.
You put your life on the
into
line. Nobody really appreciates you enough for it. Being a hero isn't what it's cracked up to be anymore.
Used to be a cop myself. Only for a day, though.
I thought I was bad.
Somehow I managed to get myself involved with the incident in
For
Raccoon
some
City
reason,
on my
they
first day in the
not
force.
working together.
That is the incident with the viral outbreak, right?
Maybe because the partner
I
system
think I might have seen a
not
sample
really
of the virus in a lab at the
in this
department.
Something, cop! After you. Now.
So this time it is pretty much easy, unlike before. Because I think the button is always be the same. So it's not randomized. For some reason he's trying to get away all by himself. Sadly we
It's
cannot
Leon.
use those
Sorry I
cards.
couldn't get in touch sooner, but I was a bit tied up.
You're okay, right?
I'm fine. There was a male civilian held captive. According to him, Ashley's in a church somewhere.
What happened to him?
He managed to escape.
Do you have a fix on the location of that church?
No, but apparently there's a secret passage in the village that leads there. I'm heading back to the village.
feature is just very not important because why don't they try to ask for reinforcement instead? Because the enemy were actually getting bigger. Maybe because they just know that he's actually the main character and they will not be dead.
Over here, stranger.
So this is actually the first time that we unlock the merchant, which is pretty interesting, especially when you have infinite money that you can actually buy an RPG from the beginning, which is pretty weird. So there's a lot of enemies. So we definitely need more ammunition from the merchant, even though we can actually shot from here. Without opening the doors. Because for some reason,
Got something that might interest you.
merchant just definitely
Got a selection of good that
is always in the safe zone that never been attacked.
what are you buying?
So yeah, there's a rocket launcher, but at the same time we definitely need bigger storage to inventory as well. Wonder why there's no animation that we are actually carrying the box.
that all?
It's definitely not able.
Is that all? Thank you.
Good.
What are you selling? What are you selling?
Just get it. I'm actually waste my 9 minutes just to setting up my inventory so that it can carry the best. If no, still technically not really matters because we just cannot carry every guns that available on the merchant.
Welcome.
So the reason why I tried to buy the rifle,
What are you
sniper
buying?
rifle instead of the submachine gun is because we
What are
currently
you
have
selling?
remaining rifle ammunition
What are you
that
buying?
we can actually use. So maybe the first thing to do is to buy the case instead. But I just don't know why I'm pretty confused because the
That all?
previously
Thank you.
when I tried to
Not enough cash,
do
stranger.
is
What are you selling? What are you buying?
buying the DMP, which is basically not really important because
I'm glad
DMP is most likely like a regular handgun, but it's just automatic, that's all. So it can fire
Time.
people.
What are
The
you
ammunition
selling?
is just very small.
What are you buying?
Maybe the
What are you
effective
selling?
things to buy that is to do a headshot instead.
I am buying at a high price.
You know, it is,
Thank you.
for some reason, it is actually pretty important.
That old
Because it
stranger?
can
Thank you. What are you buying?
increase the health, but I decided
That
to
old
sell it
stranger?
because I just wanted to buy a rifle for some reason. Know whether it can be fit or not. It should be fit in the bottom, but I'm pretty confused how to rotate this weapon instead. I'm still pretty much confused on how to make the setting up the inventory. That's the reason why it's taking so long time. Which actually make me dizzy because I'm just too bored to see how it's create. Not really able to do setting up the things. No, it's pretty much effective. Oh, there's a lot of space in the bottom.
What are you buying?
So we can actually buy the rival right now.
That old.
Still confused.
That
how
old
to
stranger?
rotate damn weapons. And I need to do it over and over again. You can see that the rival is just never be possible to put backside. I think I'm trying to do it
What are you buying? Is that old?
vertical first, even though I think it's definitely not possible. Because yeah, it eventually needs to be put horizontally instead, and I already know right now to rotate the weapons. For some reason right now it's just not possible
That old.
the combination, so I need to cancel and rearrange again. And this is pretty annoying. Even the shotgun is cannot be put vertically, even though it is a little bit shorter for some reason. So now
What are you
the
buying? Is that old?
briefcase is empty to put the rivals. And yeah,
Thank you. Not enough
we're
gas.
actually able
Stranger, what are you selling?
to buy the DMP as well, but I'm not sure. many things that I need to sell in order to buy the TMP.
Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Is that all, stranger? Thank you. What are you buying?
Buy the TMP
Is that all?
as well, but still. Alright, just wanted to buy the first aid spray
Thank you.
because just in case
Not
I
enough
only got
cash,
one green
stranger.
herb. So TMP is still pretty
Not enough cash,
expensive, so
stranger.
there's gas in the backside of the virgin. So we are finally in the 46-second remaining, and I obviously not going into the merchant again, but instead of just going into outside into the battleground, I decided to save first and just quit the game. Obviously after 52 minutes, so it's only 6 minutes in the first footage. So I'm back to main menu because I'm just so enough to record this game and just checking out the